Hey everyone, welcome back to Rooster's weekly video update. This week, pubs and restaurants around the UK have reopened for outdoor visitors as of the 12th of April, after months of lockdown. In addition, all shops can reopen and members of the same household can take a holiday in England in self-contained accommodation. Staycations are currently very popular, as you would expect, with some areas like Cornwall and Devon with very little availability over the coming weeks. Find out more about the current rules and regulations on travel within England, the link to the Birmingham Mail in the article. The UK's largest COVID-19 PCR testing provider is almost halving the cost to support travel to £60 per test. Meanwhile, the UK's Aviation and Maritime Minister, Robert Courts, has pledged to address concerns over the cost of testing to travellers ahead of a resumption of international travel in the spring. Travellers and the travel industry will not get any information on the countries on the green list until early May, just days before the planned resumption of international travel on the 17th. The timescale was confirmed by Robert Courts when he addressed MPs on the Transport Select Committee. The Telegraph has published their predictions for the countries and regions that will first appear on the UK's green list, including Israel, Gibraltar, Madeira, the Caribbean islands, Iceland, Malta, and the USA. Interestingly, EasyJet's chief said that he expects almost all major European countries to be placed into the government's green traffic light category when international travel resumes. Tour operators TUI and EasyJet Holidays have confirmed that they have no plans to push back their restart dates. Rival operator Jet2 Holidays pushed back its restart date to the 24th of June on Friday after the government's Global Travel Task Force published its report on the restart of travel. Travel agencies have reported a positive week back so far as non-essential shops reopened in England and Wales on Monday, with queues outside some branches. Scotland's islands will reopen to travellers later this month, First Minister Nicola Sturgeon has said. Sturgeon's also confirmed the Scottish Government was committed to consulting with island communities about how and when they emerge from long-standing restrictions. And Israel has outlined its intention to allow organised groups of tourists that have been vaccinated to enter the country from the 23rd of May. In the first stage, groups will be allowed in under guidelines which are yet to be published, but an outline says a limited number of groups will be allowed to travel from the 23rd of May. The number is expected to increase based on the health situation in the country. Over in social, after trialling hiding public light counts in a variety of ways, whether that's on all posts, on just your posts, or being able to see everything, Instagram's chief Adam Mosseri has announced the app has just decided it will let you make the final choice. As algorithms continue, with really no end in sight, to be responsible for what we see in our social feeds, Twitter has announced their new responsible machine learning initiative. The initiative is built on pillars that mean Twitter assumes ownership of what the algorithm makes you see, in contrast to Facebook's recent stance that ultimately you curate your own relationship with the algorithm. Some analyses of the algorithm, or algorithms, because there's more than one, that you'll see coming from Twitter in the near future are those like gender and racial bias analysis of the image cropping tool, which did flare up recently, where people realized that the algo opted for higher contrast previews of white people over black people who shared an image. Facebook and Instagram users will now be able to appeal content that has remained on the platforms through the oversight board. The board's remit previously limited it to just mediating on removed content, but users can now escalate their concerns to the board for content that has instead not been taken down. And TikTok has also previewed a new e-commerce focused ad offering as they continue to compete with the more established social networks. Most of the ad formats are ones that you've seen before, like collection ads and dynamic product ads, while new tiles placements mean creators can showcase products directly in the videos with a link to the relevant info at the bottom. It's worth remembering here that TikTok is the English language version of a Chinese app called Douyin, and Douyin generates more money from in-app sales than from ads, so expect this push to continue. Facebook and Instagram to continue to push for the same thing with the Shops feature, but the uptake in the West hasn't been quite as high yet. Also related to the above, TikTok recently commissioned Kantar to see what it is about ads on TikTok that people like. Results show that people find TikTok ads inspiring, enjoyable, and optimistic, and that TikTok ads had a better reception than ads on other apps. Apparently, TikTok's preferred ad placement, which is a bit of a weird one, is the top view format. LinkedIn is also working on new ways to help users, particularly mums, cover employment gaps, especially as COVID's forced 2.5 million women out of work. The most straightforward of these new options is a stay-at-home mum option, while parental leave, family care, and sabbatical will also be new self-employment options as well. And Reddit looks set to be the next audio social competitor to Clubhouse. It's an interesting move, and it does bring the platform closer to its brother Discord. Speaking of Clubhouse, the Android app is nearing fruition just in time for all of their competitors to catch up. That's all from us this week. Don't forget to stay tuned for next week, and you can find out even more in the link to the article as always. Cheers.